Hi everybody, Codex here, and happy Sunday, but oh wait, that's actually not very good, because tomorrow's Monday. Dang, what a bad intro. Anyway guys, what's up? Codex here again, I just said for the second time, and welcome to the second episode of the forum. Today is on chapter 2 of volume 3 of RWBY, or RWBY as many people know it as. And episode 2 was actually really cool because episode 2 revolved around the next 2 fights that you see in the Vital Festival tournament. And after Team RWBY, because last time I talked about how it cut off directly right after Team Juniper was called over to the Coliseum. Yeah, so it starts right then and there. And the thing that I really have to admit though is that it's really cool seeing all the other teams experience what they're going through, because we can't just be limited all towards Team RWBY, because of course they're all four of the girls are the main heroines, but it's always nice to get exposed or give more screen time to the other characters. Of Team Juniper, I personally love Pyrrha the most. Pyrrha is absolutely my favorite, and I just really love her ability and her personality a lot. And in this fight, Team Juniper goes up against Team Bronze, I think, because let's see, it's JNPR against BRNZ. So I'm pretty sure that represents Bronze. But yeah, this was a pretty exciting fight because if I remember correctly, when the arena kind of terraformed, and then all those certain landscapes started coming up. Let's see, there was a forest and then there was a mountain. It was half forest. I think the forest was on Juniper's side, and the mountain, oh no, it was halfway, so they were right in the middle of both. And this was really funny because in this fight, Professor RWBY explains the ability of Nora. And Nora's, the very quirky one in Team Juniper. She's very energetic and stuff. And that's what's really cool about her. And we find out that her semblance is that she can absorb electricity. So she's basically a giant lightning rod. And now everyone's calling her Thora, which actually does make a lot of sense. So yeah, it was really cool. And the thing that's really funny is that a lot of around social media, a lot of people explain oh yeah, for Team RWBY everybody throws Yang in the problem. Then for Team Juniper, it's go Nora, go solve the problem for us. And then literally in Team Juniper versus Bronze battle, Nora literally just instead of yellow laser beam, like I said last time, it's a pink laser, and she wiped out the whole squad. It was really funny. I also really love the scene in the fight where there was some exchanges in combat. So I don't remember all the characters' names in Bronze, but I know Jean was fighting someone, Ren was fighting someone. Basically each character had another opponent, so it was pretty nice because it was a 4-on-4. And then the thing that was funny is that after all this combat happened for a moment, it stopped, and then Jean said alright guys, yeah, flower power, and it was supposed to be name of a cooperative move, because how in the last volume 2, people called Bumblebee, for example, is a good way of explaining that, because it's Blake and Yang, and it's both of them, and it's a duo. So then firepower was supposed to be for Ren and Nora, and I was wait, what? Well, what's that supposed to mean, Jean? And then yeah, I just thought that was really funny because no one really knew. But then, as I told you a few moments ago, they're just okay, Nora, go use your hammer and get rid of the other team, and that's literally what happened. So yeah, that was a pretty humorous fight, but it was good. And then right after Team Juniper versus Bronze, there's like a very oh wait, no, it's after. Okay, so after them, it's Team Sun versus Team Indigo, and like the way they introduced Team Sun was really funny. They're just like, yeah, testosterone-filled young gentlemen or boys, and like it was referring to like Scarlet, Sun, Neptune. I forgot the other guy's name, but anyway, yeah, I thought that was like a really funny way of introducing them. And it's funny because it's like an all male team against an all female team, Indigo. And I honestly really liked Indigo too. Like, it's hard to not like characters in this show. All the character designs are really good, all the weapons are really unique, so it made the fighting like really easy to appreciate. Yeah, and Team Sun versus Indigo was also really like intriguing actually, because when the landscape formed, there was like water and then there was desert, and that was about it. And we got to see like what the other characters do in like Team Sun. So like Scarlet, for example, he's like a pirate, which is pretty cool, and he has like a saber, and then he has like a flintlock pistol. Of course, we know Sun has gunchucks, which are like OP as heck. And then Neptune has a rifle that turns into a electric, I'll just say lance, for example. And then I'm kind of sad and I forgot the other guy's name, but he had like a huge sword. And then Indigo, they're kind of more based on elements. I know all the girls in Indigo could control wind. It's really cool. Actually, I think another one of them was really fast. Yeah, I have to look more into that. And anyway, like, yeah, there were some pretty cool 1v1s in that. And then, like, the thing that was funny, or really ironic, more profoundly, was that, like, Neptune was really scared of water. And the huge irony is that Neptune was the god of water, or it's supposed to represent that. And it's like, dude, what the heck? And then, like, near the end of the fight, we learn that, reason why he's so afraid is because his staff, you know, it's electrical. So of course you should be afraid of water if you have an electrical staff. You don't want to, you know, electrocute yourself. And then during one of the scenes in the battle, it was just like, hey Neptune, you aren't like helping me. And then like Neptune's like, fine, I'll help. And then he comes by, tiptoes to the big pool of water, because there was like a coast side, and then there was like the desert part, and then near the watery part, it was kind of like a coastline, as I just said. He just literally tiptoes, dips the staff into the water, and the rest of Team Indigo just gets totally electrocuted. It was like really funny. And then they won. And then after that, there's this one scene that happens right after it that I'm gonna mention right now. And you know, they're doing like Team Sun's doing their victory dance, and it focuses on Neptune and Sun. And then their Sun's looking towards the audience, and then Sun looks directly at Blake. And then the thing that I could not control myself over when I saw that scene was how adorable Blake was acting, because, you know, in the last volume we found out that they actually really like each other, and then like I was like, yes. And then, you know, in that scene, Sun got Blake to blush really hard, and I was like, dang, that's really cute. So yeah, I was it's not a surprise that like being someone who favorites Blake the most would love that the most. So yeah, that was incredibly satisfying. So after those two battles, the tournament for whatever quarter I suppose it ends, and then it transfers over. Oh wait, actually I think I got the order wrong. Or did I? Anyway, I know for a fact that after either one of the battles, it goes to this bar. And the thing that's funny is that there's a pun in there. It's called the Crow Bar, you know, like the big piece of metal that we use to open doors and stuff. And at the Crow Bar, that's where Crow is. Crow is the uncle of Ruby. And then it's like, man, when I first heard Crow's voice, like, it was so deep, and he sounded like super awesome, and like all it made me feel was curious, which is a good thing. That's what I love about these shows. You feel curious, and then you're kind of just wondering, and then like after Crow wasn't really impressed by any of the matches, he put his shot glass down, and he's like, none of that was amusing to me. And then you see a big, like a ship pass by in the background. It like goes right behind him. You see like the sun, and then it goes right past it. And then like, it's almost like instinctive. And he's like, that's what I've been waiting for. And then the ship goes to the arena, or it flies over to the arena, and then it transfers back to where Team RWBY is. And then they get up, and then, you know, Yang and Blake go a bit further ahead, and then Weiss kind of stops in the middle of her tracks, or step, like, in their motion, and she just stops, like, dead, like, right there, right where she's standing. It's kind of like on, like, the border of the arena, you know, so you can overlook the whole thing. And then she looks up and she sees the ship, and then almost with, like, a very nervous, it sounded nervous and excited to me. That's the thing that's really contradicting. I was like, does Weiss seem excited or really scared about this? And then, like, with the most honest sort of tone, it was like, she's here. And yeah, like, the way that I imagined it was kind of between those two moods. So it's very, fluctuating water. So now, due to the fandom diving straight in, and of course due to like some of the info people were able to get, we find out that Weiss actually has an older sister, and we come to find out that her name is Winter. And then, like, this is the thing, it's crazy. It's that, like, whoa, like, one of the main heroines actually has an older sister, or a sibling. And then, the other thing that's huge is that she's older. So, you know, there's superiority within the family line. Because Weiss is supposed to be the heiress. So that means she's supposed to take superiority later. So, yeah, I'm, like, really excited for Winter's appearance. Like, there's some other info, but I won't get to explaining that until I actually watch the episode, and then there's the forum about that episode. Because then I can really start appreciating, that's a new word. Anyway, like, start appreciating, like, her character archetype, her appearance, what she does, and how she approaches all the other characters. Then I can start to get a little more analytical. So, yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited. And also, what I had mentioned a couple moments ago about Crow, it's like, Crow seems to have some sort of, there must have been some conflict in the past with Winter and Crow, because actually, in the new opening animation, it shows Crow and Winter, like, giving each other, like, that sort of stare that rivals give each other. But I feel like it's a lot worse than that, which is not good. Because if there is something wrong in relation to either one or two of the heroines of the cast, it's like, something is gonna go wrong, and if one thing goes wrong, it's gonna go into chaos. And it just gets worse and worse from there. So, yeah, it makes me a bit tense, but it's sort of that tense excitement. See, it's another contradicting feeling. There's a contradiction between Weiss and how she sounded, and a contradiction between me and how I feel about this. So yeah, there's a lot to think about. I don't know what you guys initially thought about Crow. I mean, the thing that's funny though is like, I feel like I'm gonna really like Winter and Crow. I also want, I know this is a bit off topic, but I really want to see Raven more too. Raven Branlin, she appeared in Volume 2 near like the end. Or a little near the end. Yeah, it's all like the I guess I'll just say adults, or the more mature, like, characters of RWBY. So, yeah, there's a lot to think about. Anyway, you guys, I think that's all my thoughts. Yeah, this was a lot more interesting than I had imagined. Well, I could definitely drink to that. This is green tea. I haven't had it in a while. It's really good. Oh yeah, so in other news, what happened today is that now instead of RWBY airing on Thursday, which was actually an okay airing, like, day of the week, now it was supposed to air on Sunday, so it's kind of like a wider time frame to wait. But I don't know. I feel like patience does pay off a lot, no matter what it is. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm just really looking forward to what's gonna happen, and of course, I'm incredibly curious. So anyway, you guys, thank you very, very much for watching episode 2 of the forum. Hope to see you again in the next one, and as always, stay honest, and I will see you again. See you guys. Dude, I seriously haven't been able to English lately. I said superiority, which is supposed to be superiority, and I said appreciation. Like, what? Man, sometimes when I vlog, I can't even, like, control my flow of sentence structure. It's really embarrassing. Even for me as a grammar Nazi, it's kind of like, what are you doing? Like, what are those sentences or words that you're saying? Anyway, I'll see you guys again.